to give diplomacy a chance, and I'm very appreciative to President Trump and his team for having gotten to the point where this MOU is now ready to be signed.
Can you give me a sense of where your sense of hope and concern is with the terms that have been suggested are part of this MOU? Where are the vulnerabilities that worry Saudi? But I guess the flip side of this, where is the need to focus attention to make sure that this is a durable deal that can withstand the pressures to actually deliver the sustainable peace that we need?
I'm not going to comment on the MOU specifically because I haven't seen the final version, but I will point to the issues of concern and hope and concern, and where we have risks. Obviously, the nuclear program is the issue that is of primary concern, and my understanding is that there are clear commitments to resolve that issue along lines which I think are very significant and very much in line with what we are hoping for. So addressing the possibility of a pathway to a nuclear weapon. The detail will matter. It will be most important to see the verification mechanisms that are in place beyond the actual commitments on enrichment, the actual commitment on removal or downblending of the nuclear materials, how we will have a long-term sustainable verification regime is what will matter the most, and that is what will give the international community, but also the regional countries, the most confidence and the ability to look towards a better future. And of course there are the issues of freedom of navigation in the Straits of Hormuz and the broader regional security context that will need to be addressed. Some of them I think will be covered through the MOU or the final agreement between Iran and the US, and there is a need of course also for a regional security dialogue between the countries of the region and Iran to address those concerns and to make sure that we build a framework that respects national sovereignty, that respects the national security interests of all parties in our neighborhood, and ensures that we are never faced again with the risk of such a huge and devastating conflict.
Can I ask where you see the role for Saudi Arabia in this ongoing process? I mean, you've been one of the mediating countries in the STEP group of Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Egypt, and Pakistan. What is the place that you see for yourselves in the immediate 60 days and the moment after that? Obviously, we're going to have US-Iran negotiations on the nuclear front. Where is the space for Riyadh in that mix? Do you feel part of the process? There's obviously a lot of talk about the need for economic resources to be opened up to Iran, whether it's their frozen assets or a potential reconstruction fund. Where in the mix do you fit?
So just like the process that got us to the MOU, I think we will play primarily a supportive role. So I wouldn't say that we were mediators so much as we were supporters, and we were helpful behind the scenes in trying to encourage both parties to give primary focus to the diplomatic track, to bring opinions together when necessary, and to give, let's say, words of advice and try and push in the direction of a resolution or an end to the conflict. And going forward, we will obviously want to play a role, certainly in the regional context, on addressing these regional issues. We have an incredibly important role to play there. We are